You're on a beach. You've been there probably for the last hour, and you have a couple buckets and maybe even some totes. And what you're trying to do is build the perfect sandcastle. You've thought it through meticulously. You know exactly what it should look like. You know where every corner is supposed to be. You know exactly how this castle should stand by the time you're done. Finally, you get to the last piece of the castle and you put the bucket upside down. You've built the last piece and it looks great. You step back, and as you're looking at the castle that you just spent so long building, a wave comes in and completely washes it away. How do you feel? One would say, man, that sucks. All that time wasted. Another person could say, well, I'm not sleeping in the castle. It doesn't really matter. What is it that you're actually seeking when you build the castle? I wanted today to be a day where we talk about time and how valuable it is. Biblically, we've seen time that is wasted and time that is productive. When I think of Martha in the Bible, I think of a lady that was very meticulous about her time. She had to get everything squared away. She knew what needed to be done, and she made sure the job was done by her hand because she knew that she was the best person for the job. And then Jesus comes up. Mary runs outside, falls in love with Jesus. And they talk. They come into the house, and Martha's still cleaning for Jesus. Also reminds me of Judas. Judas spent all of his time pretty much being the money guy, right? The guy, he knows money. He focuses on the finances, not because he wants to, not because he wants to be rich. He wants to give it away, right? We hear him mention it when Mary pours the alabaster jar on Jesus's feet. He says, we could have saved that money and gave it to the poor. In his mind, he meant well, just like Martha. She meant well. She wanted to clean the house for Jesus. And I think that's admirable. However, just like the amount of time that it took to build that castle, was that fruitful time or was that a waste of time? Even though I talk about two different people, Martha and Judas, they did have something in common. They put a lot of their efforts into work that ultimately in the human way of speaking or the world's way of speaking, the work that they put in was actually good. Martha, what she wanted to do was have a clean house, and we all know that we want a clean house today. Judas wanted to save up the money. Unfortunately, that pesky little knucklehead was also stealing, but we're talking about this scenario. He said he wanted to give the money to the poor. That's actually admirable. Both of them took their eyes off of the Lord. That was right in front of them. Martha is cleaning, Jesus is in the same house, and Judas is saying he wants to save the money when Jesus is sitting right in front of him. The hard work and all that effort, is it a waste of time? It proved to be a waste. Now, when I read the Bible, I don't read the words so that I could just have a story. We read because most of the times we hear about someone in the Bible, we can relate to that because we're all humans, we're all flawed, and we struggle with the same things. That means if I'm discussing these two today, then there must be a common problem, and that is wasting time. Today, as a therapist, I see a lot of people, all different challenges, a lot of non believers, some believers. But one thing I do see in common is time is wasted. Something strange happens to believers when it comes down to time. They know that following the Lord is important, but the enemy has found a way to slither in and make their time fruitless. And how does he do that? Well, he throws things in front of them um, that are shrouded with the idea of it being a responsibility, it being admirable, productive. And in the end, it's just a sandcastle being washed away. Most commonly, social media is one of them. You could spend hours on social media, and then it's weird. It's like a teleportal. It's like you just click one button, and then 2 hours later, you're like, what the heck just happened? And then there's nothing to show for it in the end, just like the sandcastle. But then there's also video games. Now, I know this is a no-no place for so many people, but video games, you strive so hard to win that game. You strive so hard to get that trophy at the end or upgrade, whatever it is, because I've been there before. I've done it plenty of times. But there's always a time where you have to hit the power button and turn it off. Then what do you have? Is there an accomplishment or is it a waste of time? By the time you hit the power button, doesn't matter what you won. It's just another castle washed away. That being said, I urge anyone that sees this video to challenge themselves with the time that they have. No, I'm not perfect. My time, I try to get as much reading in. I also encourage people not to spot read in the Bible. Read chapters, relate, pursue God as though you want to date him. Sounds funny, doesn't it? But anyone that decides to follow Christ is the bride. Acknowledge the time that you have, the time that we're wasting. Because there's a lot of time that we do waste where we put so much effort into something that is absolutely meaningless. This video is not meant to attack anyone. Heck, I'm speaking to myself even when I say this. This video is actually meant to encourage us. We're all struggling with the same things as Martha did. I even want to say some of the things that Judas did. Praise God that we didn't go as far as he did. However, it needs to be acknowledged that we cannot be in the business of wasting time. As believers, we don't know when the end is coming, and we have to treat it as though the time can come any minute. Our jobs right now is to follow Jesus and also to bring as many people as we can to him. We're not saving them, but we're leading them to Christ. So, I want to hear your thoughts about time. What are some things that you believe waste a lot of our time? Am I overthinking it? Are video games productive? Am I just missing something? Or am I onto something? I want to hear back from you guys. Please do me a favor, like and subscribe to the page. It helps. I cannot believe this crazy YouTube algorithm. Every like and subscribe helps the page so much. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.